Hi, I'm Safa, Realtor with Royal Pacific Realty Corp., and welcome to your June 2026 Greater Vancouver Market Update. This month's numbers tell two very different stories, depending on where you're looking. So let's get into exactly what's happening across the Tri-Cities and Greater Vancouver. Let's start with the big picture. Coquitlam detached homes had a median sale price of $1.78 million in June, up just 1% from May. Condos and townhomes in Coquitlam came in at $702,500, up 5%, and that's on the back of a massive jump in sales volume. Average days on market across the Tri-Cities sits at 20 days. But here's the real headline this month. The market split in two directions. North Vancouver detached surged into a seller's market at 23% sales ratio, the hottest reading anywhere in the region. Meanwhile, Port Coquitlam and Port Moody detached both slipped into buyer's market territory at just 6 and 7%. And on the condo side, Coquitlam attached sales jumped 55% month over month. Let's break all of this down. Looking at detached prices, New Westminster remains the most attainable entry point at $1.285 million, followed closely by Port Coquitlam at $1.36 million. Coquitlam sits at $1.78 million, and Port Moody just under $1.8 million. North Vancouver has pushed up to $2.03 million, and Vancouver West Side continues to lead the region at just over $3 million. One thing worth flagging, Burnaby detached actually dropped 11% month over month, and New Westminster is down 8%. If you've been priced out of either of those markets recently, this is worth a second look. On the condo and townhome side, New Westminster and Port Coquitlam remain the most affordable entry points, in the low 600s. Richmond sits at $682,500, and Burnaby at $700,000 even. Coquitlam condos came in at $702,500, up 5% from May. Port Moody had a strong month too, up 8% to $787,500. Vancouver Westside remains the premium end at $938,000. If you're a first-time buyer, Port Coquitlam and New Westminster are still your best entry points into this market. Just move quickly because both are seeing strong sales ratios right now. This slide is the one I want you to really pay attention to this month because the divergence is dramatic. Remember, sales ratio tells us how fast a market is moving. 12 to 20% is balanced. Below 12 is buyer's territory. Above 20 is a seller's market. Port Coquitlam detached is sitting at just 6% right now, genuinely a buyer's market. Port Moody detached is at 7%, right there with it. On the complete opposite end, North Vancouver detached has surged to 23%. That's a seller's market, full stop. Coquitlam detached is right on the balanced to hot line at 18%. On the condo and townhome side, almost everything is clustered in a healthy, balanced range between 13 and 21%. This is exactly why the market, as one single thing, doesn't really exist right now. It depends entirely on which door you're walking through. Let's zoom into Coquitlam over the past 13 months. Detached prices, the blue line, dipped through the winter, bottoming out around $1.585 million in January and have now climbed back up to $1.78 million in June. That's a meaningful recovery over the spring selling season. The condo and townhome line tells an even more compelling story. After sitting relatively flat through the winter around $670,000, June brought a sharp jump to $702,500, with sales volume nearly matching the busiest months of last year. Buyers who were waiting on the sidelines clearly came back into this market in a big way this month. Here's where the story gets really clear. The blue bars are active listings. The green bars are how many homes actually sold in June. Richmond has the largest gap here. Over 1,300 condos and townhomes listed with 190 sold. That's a lot of room for buyers to negotiate. Burnaby is similar, with over 1,300 attached listings against 221 sales. Compare that to Port Moody and Port Coquitlam, where the listing pools are much smaller and proportionally more homes are moving. The lesson here, don't judge the whole region by one headline. Look at the specific gap in the specific area you care about. So what does this all mean for you? 4 things. First, North Vancouver detached is red hot right now, sitting at a 23% sales ratio with Hames selling in just 10 days. If you're selling there, this is your window. Second, Port Coquitlam and Port Moody detached have both tipped into buyer's market territory. If you've had your eye on either of those communities, you now have real negotiating leverage. Third, condo and townhome sales are booming, especially in Coquitlam, where sales jumped 55% month over month. This tells me buyers who were waiting are stepping back into the market. And fourth, days on market are stretching in several areas, especially Burnaby, which nearly doubled from 13 to 24 days. Sellers, that means your pricing strategy matters more this month than it did last month. Let's look at the Tri-Cities side by side. Coquitlam detached is at $1.78 million, up 1%, with an 18% sales ratio, solidly active. Port Coquitlam detached dropped to a 6% sales ratio, genuinely soft, even though the median price actually rose 4%. Port Moody detached is essentially flat at $1.8 million, but also sitting at just 7% sales ratio. On the attached side, it's a different picture entirely. Port Coquitlam attached is at 21%, a seller's market, even as the median price fell 10%. Port Moody attached rose 8% to $787,500. The pattern this month? Detached is cooling in the Tri-Cities, while attached is heating up. Days on market confirms everything we've seen so far. North Vancouver detached is the fastest moving market here at just 10 days. Coquitlam detached follows at 19 days. On the slower end, Richmond detached is taking 30 days on average, and New Westminster detached is at 27. For attached homes, Port Coquitlam is the outlier at 27 days. Even with that 21% sales ratio, it seems buyers are taking their time to compare options. If you're selling in a slower moving area, presentation and accurate pricing from day one make all the difference. That's your June 2026 market update. This month is a great reminder that Greater Vancouver isn't one market. It's dozens of micro markets, each moving at its own pace. Whether you're thinking about buying in a cooling pocket like Port Coquitlam or selling into a hot one like North Vancouver, I'd love to help you figure out the right move. Reach out anytime. I'm Safa, and I'll see you next month.